Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not swipe away. This is not the algorithm. This is a deliberate and urgent divine interception. Something massive was activated this morning when you woke up. You probably thought it was just another regular day. You went through your normal routine, but heaven registered a massive shockwave because your silent energy finally broke through the ancient barriers they set against you. You do not even know what you did. You do not realize the timeline you just stepped into. Archangel Michael has personally routed this message to your screen. The window for your ultimate spiritual breakthrough is opening right now. And if you leave this video, you will single-handedly shut the door on the exact blessing your soul has been crying out for during those long and completely silent nights. Take one slow breath. Feel the energy in the room around you right now. It feels a little heavy, does it not? That is because the spiritual realm is currently realigning everything to match the frequency you emitted this morning. You did something so incredibly subtle, but it shattered a generational curse that has been holding your bloodline back for decades. The heavy attacks you faced recently were not random. They were hard proof that the enemy is absolutely panicking. They saw what you activated before you even opened your eyes today. A massive wealth transfer has just been approved in your name, and the forces of darkness are desperately trying to distract you before you claim what is rightfully yours. Listen to me carefully. Stay until the final second of this message. What I am about to reveal will give you the exact physical key to unlock this new reality. If you scroll away now, the blessing will still arrive, but you will have absolutely no idea what to do with it, because your spiritual receiver will remain entirely blocked from the divine signal. You have felt it coming for weeks. The strange dreams, the sudden moments of intense fatigue, the way people around you have been acting so strangely. Those were not coincidences. Those were the tremors before the earthquake. And this morning was the earthquake. Your spirit finally broke through the invisible barrier they placed around you to keep you small. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. They always described you the same way. They called you too kind. They said you were too forgiving. They thought you were just the quiet one who would always keep the peace. And because of that foolish assumption, they severely underestimated the sleeping giant that was growing inside of your soul. Welcome to your era of ultimate authority. The very people who ignored your texts and drained your energy are suddenly terrified. They do not know why they feel so uncomfortable around you today. They thought their betrayal would break you. Instead, it activated a primal and dangerous level of spiritual power inside you while they are forced to watch you rise. Heaven had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections from your life. The intense loneliness you felt was never a curse. It was a rigorous spiritual crucible designed to protect your aura. God was deliberately isolating you so you could be pure enough to activate the frequency you released this morning. The long and painful waiting season is finally over. Just moments ago, a scroll with your name on it was unsealed in the heavenly courts. The tears you cried in secret have been collected. They have been turned into the exact fuel needed for this morning to happen. But there is a hidden mechanism buried inside this breakthrough. And you will completely miss it if you lose focus right now and walk away. Make a promise to your future self. Do not let this message fade into the background. There is a hidden secret inside your current struggle. The darkness does not want you to hear these next words. If you take your eyes off this screen, you will strip yourself of the key to recognizing your kingdom connection. Brace yourself for the absolute truth. Before we go any further, I want to hold something in front of you. It is something that was discovered not inside a church or a spiritual community, but inside a high-level research laboratory. Something that won the highest scientific recognition available. Most chosen ones have never been told about this discovery because the elite want to keep it totally hidden. It explains the massive gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that seems available only in flashes. I will show you exactly what was found. But not yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was violently taken from you. So hold this important question in your mind as we continue this journey together today. What if the gap is not a character flaw? What if it actually has a scientific name? What if the waiting has nothing to do with your worthiness and everything to do with a suppressed frequency that is blocking your blessings? The answer to this question is the very thing you activated this morning. Let that settle in your spirit as we uncover the truth. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. Take a deep breath and let your shoulders drop. You have been carrying an invisible mountain for so long. Your body is utterly exhausted, and it is not the kind of tired that a good night of sleep can fix. It is a deep spiritual fatigue that sits heavy in your bones and makes every single day feel like an endless battle. Lately, you have been waking up right around 3 a.m. with your mind completely racing. Your heart beats fast for absolutely no logical reason. The doctors would tell you it is just stress or anxiety. The world wants you to believe you are just struggling to cope with modern life. But that is a complete lie, designed to keep you blind to what is really happening inside you. Do not let them convince you that you are losing your mind. That strange tightness in your chest is actually your spirit detecting a massive timeline shift. You are feeling the friction between the old world falling apart and your new reality locking into place. Your physical body is simply trying to process the massive download of divine energy you received this morning. Think about how strange people have been acting around you recently. Conversations with old friends suddenly feel incredibly draining and hollow. You sit in crowded rooms and feel more alone than you ever have in your entire life. That isolation is not a punishment for being different. It is a strict quarantine imposed by heaven to protect your rapidly rising frequency. They told you that you were too sensitive. They took advantage of your endless empathy and drained your light until you had nothing left to give. You spent years apologizing for things you never even did just to keep the peace. You broke yourself into tiny pieces to make sure everyone else felt comfortable and safe. But those days of blind sacrifice are officially over. Pay close attention to this next part, because it will make sense of your entire past year. You are not crazy. Your intuition has been screaming at you that something was deeply wrong with the people around you. You saw the hidden agendas. You felt the subtle manipulation long before anyone else noticed it. And every single time you doubted yourself, your gut was actually right. Being the chosen one is a remarkably lonely assignment. You are the anomaly in your family lineage. You are the rare soul who refuses to play the fake games that everyone else accepts as normal. That is exactly why they projected their insecurities onto you. They could not understand your pure light, so they tried to pull you down into their comfortable darkness instead. Have you noticed the ringing in your ears getting louder over the past few weeks? Have you seen the repeated numbers flashing everywhere you look? These are the undeniable tribe markers of an awakening master of reality. The universe is desperately trying to get your attention. It wants you to know that your silent suffering has been fully witnessed and documented by the divine. Stop blaming yourself for the delays in your life. Stop believing the toxic narrative that you somehow failed or did something wrong to deserve the pain. The rejection you faced was not a rejection at all. It was heaven slamming the wrong doors shut to keep you out of rooms that would have destroyed your destiny. You were completely protected, even when you felt abandoned. You look at the narcissists and the manipulators who seem to get ahead so easily. You wonder why their path looks so smooth, while yours is paved with broken glass. But their success is shallow and entirely temporary. They are building castles on the sand, while the universe has been using your tears to lay an unbreakable foundation for a permanent, generational empire. You do not even want to argue with them anymore. A year ago, you would have tried to explain yourself and seek their validation. Today, you just observe them with a quiet authority. That silence is your new weapon. You have finally realized that a healed person no longer tolerates confusion disguised as love, or disrespect disguised as brutal honesty. You have leveled up. Do you feel that? That slight pull in your chest right now? That is your spirit validating every single word I am speaking to you. You did not click this video by accident. Your higher self guided you here to hand you the exact decoder ring for the bizarre phenomena happening in your life. You are finally waking up from the long illusion they trapped you inside. The activation that happened this morning was the final straw. Your physical vessel is currently shedding the trauma of 1,000 forgotten battles. The extreme fatigue you feel right now is the heavy cost of breaking a cycle you did not start. Rest your mind today. Because the truth about what is actually blocking your full power is about to be completely exposed. But there is a deeper layer to this phenomenon. Let me take you back to the very beginning of your story. You were not born with this heavy anxiety. You arrived in this world with a pure connection to the divine source. And before the world told you who to be, your mind was a beautifully open channel for endless miracles. Everything felt incredibly easy when you were young. Your raw intuition was incredibly sharp back then. You somehow knew things long before they actually happened. The world felt entirely magical and completely aligned with your deepest desires. You did not have to force anything to manifest. You simply thought about what you wanted, and the universe quickly rearranged itself to bring it directly to your feet. Then the cold reality of adulthood finally arrived. The modern system immediately began to crush that natural magic. The rigid school system trained you to conform instead of allowing you to create freely. They told you to stop your foolish daydreaming. They punished you for speaking the hidden truths that nobody else wanted to hear. You were slowly programmed to obey their strict rules. They called your brilliant childhood imagination completely foolish. They told you that life was supposed to be a difficult struggle, and because you were just a vulnerable child, you believed their toxic lies. You slowly learned to hide your brilliant light just to survive in their dark world. The heavy matrix wrapped its cold chains around your beautiful mind. Your past was not a long series of tragic failures. Your struggles were just physical symptoms of a much deeper suppression happening beneath the surface. You have spent years thinking you were fundamentally broken. You spent thousands of hours trying to fix a personality that was never actually damaged. The hidden truth is far more sinister than you ever imagined. Here is the exact truth they never told you. Please listen carefully to this very important next part. The reason the universe responds effortlessly to certain people and not others is not about their faith. It is not about having perfect daily discipline. And it is certainly not about accumulating endless good karma. It is actually a very specific biological brainwave. Scientists working in secret laboratories have a name for it. They call it the powerful gamma wave frequency, and it is the exact neurological frequency your brain was running naturally when you were a little child. This is the biological reason why you felt so incredibly powerful back then. Your brain was literally vibrating at the frequency of absolute genius. Back then, your greatest creative ideas came so easily. Learning complex new things felt completely effortless. You had a direct and unbroken line to the divine source. When huge problems appeared, you did not panic at all. Your mind simply processed the solution before the fear could even take root in your body. You were truly an unstoppable force of nature. But the modern world went to work on you relentlessly. The chronic daily stress and the endless glowing screens drowned out that pure, sacred frequency. The heavy survival routine pushed it deeper and deeper below the conscious surface. And while you were busy just trying to pay your bills, your divine inheritance was quietly stolen from you. The version of you with a photographic memory went completely silent. The version of you with lightning-fast intuition was buried alive. And the version of you with the kind of luck that makes others whisper in jealousy was locked inside a dark cage. You lost your most powerful spiritual weapon without ever giving your consent for them to take it away. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this. They will simply accept the heavy struggle as normal. They will work themselves into an early grave, and they will spend decades wondering why their desperate prayers are never answered. They will safely assume that the universe just does not care about their silent pain. But you are clearly not like most people. Your strong spirit has always known that a massive piece of your raw power was missing. You could feel the ghostly outline of your true potential hiding just out of reach. You tried everything from intense meditation to extreme manifesting, but your life still felt completely blocked by an invisible wall. The intense frustration you feel right now is completely justified. You have watched ordinary people succeed effortlessly while you struggle to take a single step forward. You know deep down that you carry a much higher potential than you are currently expressing. The universe is not actively ignoring your requests. Your spiritual receiver is simply turned off. Remember the important question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago, the one about a massive gap and a hidden scientific name. You need to bring that exact question back to the front of your mind right now. What if the huge gap between your reality and your potential is not a character flaw at all? What if it is just a mechanical block? What if everything you have struggled with is not a spiritual curse? The failing finances and the broken relationships are simply the result of a suppressed frequency. The answer to that question is closer than you think, and the energy you released this morning is the first step toward turning that frequency back on. Before you do anything else, take a deep breath. I need you to understand the full scale of the spiritual warfare happening around you. The darkness did not target you by accident. The elite forces that control this physical world knew exactly who you were the moment you were born, and they were absolutely terrified of your dormant power. They designed an entire societal system specifically to keep your frequency incredibly low. They built rigid systems to crush your brilliant intuition. They flooded your mind with constant anxiety to ensure you stayed trapped in survival mode. The system is not broken at all. It is working exactly as it was designed, to keep chosen ones asleep. Every time you worried about paying your bills, your brain was forced out of the divine frequency. Every time you consumed their toxic news, a heavy layer of static was placed over your spiritual receiver. They kept you entirely exhausted, so you would never have the energy to question the invisible prison they built around you. But the invisible system was not enough to stop you. Your inner light was still too bright, so the darkness sent specific human agents to drain your energy directly. Those toxic people and narcissists from your past were not just random bad relationships. They were deliberate spiritual assignments sent to keep your vibration tied to the ground. Think about how they operated in your life. They always created chaotic drama right when you were about to experience a massive breakthrough. They demanded your constant attention and fed on your endless empathy. They acted like heavy anchors weighing down a ship that was desperately trying to sail toward the glorious divine light. You are not a foolish victim for loving them. You were just a pure weapon of light who did not yet understand the brutal rules of the war. You tried to heal the very demons that were sent to destroy your destiny. Your only mistake was believing that everyone else had the same pure heart that beats inside your own beautiful chest. This is exactly why your miracles have been stuck in a massive spiritual traffic jam. Your prayers were sent out with immense faith. The heavens instantly released your massive blessings. But the blessings could not reach you because your receiver was completely jammed by the low-frequency noise of the toxic people around you. Imagine your soul as a massive radio tower designed to receive divine broadcasts. The enemy could not tear down the tower because your spirit is utterly indestructible. So instead, they installed thousands of tiny static generators all around you. The toxic jobs and the fake friends were all just static generators designed to block your signal. The people in power know exactly how this physical mechanism works. The elite spend thousands of dollars to quietly maintain their own high-frequency states. They go to private retreats and use advanced technology to keep their minds clear. Meanwhile, they actively pump low-frequency fear into your daily life to keep you totally paralyzed. Let me tell you exactly how they kept you trapped. Number 1. They made you doubt your own sanity whenever you sensed their lies. Number 2. They made you feel deeply guilty for simply wanting a better life. And number 3, they convinced you that suffering in silence was somehow a noble and holy virtue. It was a complete trap all along. Do you see the magnificent illusion now? They needed you to stay poor. They needed you to stay anxious and entirely disconnected from your true source. Because a chosen one who realizes they are the master of reality is the most dangerous force on this entire planet. And they knew you were slowly waking up to their extremely toxic game. You are the ultimate cycle breaker. You are the one who took the heavy generational trauma of your entire bloodline and said it stops with me. The dark forces hate you because you are literally rewriting the spiritual DNA of your family. You are doing the heavy lifting that nobody else in your lineage had the incredible courage to do alone. But their ultimate plan completely failed. Despite all the heavy trauma and the endless manipulation, your spirit refused to die. You survived the storm entirely alone. You took their absolute worst hits, and you are still standing here today. The heavy chains they placed on your mind are finally beginning to rust and break apart completely. This brings us back to what you did this morning. The subtle energy you released was a declaration of absolute independence from their low-frequency matrix. You unknowingly flipped a switch that severed their energetic cords. But there is a massive difference between breaking a chain and walking completely out of the dark prison cell forever. You must understand the fatal trap they are setting up right now to pull you back. The darkness is not going to just let you walk away with your generational wealth without a final fight. They are preparing a desperate counterattack right at the edge of your promised land. Listen closely, because the next signs are incredibly crucial. The dark forces are officially running out of options to keep you contained. They see the glorious light radiating from your soul, and they are completely terrified of the quiet authority you now possess. You have probably noticed the toxic people from your past suddenly trying to reach out to you again. They send you random messages, acting like nothing ever happened between you two. That is not a coincidence at all. That is their absolute desperation. Those emotional vampires can literally feel their energetic supply being cut off permanently. They relied heavily on your beautiful empathy to feed their miserable existence for so many years. But your emotional doors are completely closed to their toxic manipulation now. You look at their pathetic attempts to control you, and you feel absolutely nothing inside. Your complete indifference is the ultimate weapon that destroys their fragile egos entirely. The divine universe is currently rolling out the glorious red carpet for your immediate arrival. Let me give you the exact signs that your massive miracle is already standing at the door. Number 1, you feel a strange sense of profound peace even though your physical reality looks incredibly chaotic. You are no longer reacting to the daily drama they try to create. Your mind feels perfectly still in the middle of a raging hurricane. Number 2, you are seeing the exact same angel numbers multiple times every single day. You look at the clock and see the repeating digits staring right back at you. Your powerful spirit guides are screaming at you to pay close attention to the alignment. Number 3, certain financial opportunities are suddenly appearing out of thin air to bless you. The heavy doors that were slammed shut in your face last year are now swinging wide open. You do not even have to knock on those heavy doors anymore. The divine wealth transfer is actively seeking you out because your frequency is finally rising to meet its vibration. But there is a hidden physical step you must take to fully receive this massive blessing. Before we go any further, I have to tell you something truly crucial. It is something the people who profit from your endless exhaustion desperately do not want you to know. A brilliant team of neuroscientists working quietly away from the noisy headlines have finally discovered how to bring your dormant brainwave back online. They found the exact physical key to unlock your invisible spiritual prison. They realized you do not have to rely on years of difficult meditation that most busy people cannot sustain. You do not need clinical biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars to operate in a lab. They found something far simpler and far more aligned with how you were originally designed to function. It is a specific sound frequency, meticulously engineered to gently guide your brainwave patterns back to the genius state you were born with. Top researchers at Princeton University have extensively studied this exact biological phenomenon. They confirmed that the legendary state of effortless flow is driven entirely by this exact brainwave. Columbia University also found that when this specific brainwave is properly reactivated, the blessing does not stop with you alone. It actually radiates outward and begins to positively influence your children and your closest partners. I will tell you exactly what this powerful frequency tool is called and how you can access it before this message ends. But first, there is something you deeply need to understand about your past. You need to understand exactly why your massive breakthrough was delayed for so many painful years. The universe simply could not hand you this immense power while you were still entertaining those toxic connections. Heaven literally had to wait for you to build personal boundaries of absolute solid steel. If you had received this divine frequency last year, the narcissists around you would have instantly stolen the energy to feed themselves. You are clearly no longer the bleeding empath who begged to be understood by the blind. The severe crucible of pain has completely forged you into the untouchable master of your own reality. From this exact moment forward, your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word being spoken. You carry the heavy and glorious anointing of a true cycle breaker. The generational curse stops right here in this room with you today. As this profound realization settles deeply into your spirit, you must remain incredibly vigilant. The dark forces that kept your frequency dormant have already anticipated your glorious awakening. They have deliberately laid a fatal trap right at the edge of your new and beautiful timeline. 99% of chosen ones fall for this brilliant illusion right before their final spiritual breakthrough is permanently locked in forever. This hidden trap is designed to look exactly like a magnificent blessing from above. It will appear when your guard is down and your beautiful heart is fully open to the world. If you do not know how to instantly identify this toxic counterfeit, you will unknowingly reset your entire painful waiting period. Keep your eyes locked closely on this message today, because I am going to expose their final desperate strategy right now. The fatal trap I warned you about earlier is finally here. It is the sudden appearance of a toxic counterfeit right when your real blessing is standing at the door. You will see an old friend or a former partner suddenly reach out to you with a seemingly innocent message. They will pretend they have completely changed their ways. Do not fall for their toxic and carefully rehearsed lies today. The darkness always sends familiar faces when you are dangerously close to a massive breakthrough. They use your beautiful nostalgia as a weapon to pull you back into their low-frequency matrix. The enemy knows you are inherently forgiving and desperately want to see the good in people, but entertaining their toxic presence right now will instantly reset your entire spiritual timeline. This is the ultimate final test of your newly forged boundaries. Heaven is watching very closely to see if you will trade your eternal birthright for a moment of temporary comfort. You must choose to walk in your new quiet authority. You do not need to send them a long paragraph explaining your feelings. You simply ignore their weak attempts to steal your rising divine energy. Your absolute silence is utterly terrifying to them. They expected you to argue and fight, because that is how they always drained your light in the past. But your complete lack of reaction proves that you have completely outgrown their pathetic little games. You just remove your attention, and their entire energetic ecosystem instantly collapses into absolute dust before your very eyes. You have successfully become a pure weapon of light. The massive divine wealth transfer is actively seeking this exact energetic signature from you. It requires a solid physical vessel that can absolutely never be manipulated by emotional vampires again. The universe had to make sure you could hold the immense power without letting the parasites attach themselves to your beautiful aura. The massive financial and spiritual assets are currently hovering directly over your new timeline. The divine universe is just waiting for the last bit of static to clear from your energetic field. Every time you enforce a boundary, you are literally clearing the runway for your massive blessings to finally land. The heavy delays are officially over, and the glorious delivery is confirmed. You can literally feel the profound shift happening inside your physical body right now. The extreme heavy fatigue you experienced recently is actually the old toxic programming leaving your nervous system forever. Your biological vessel is actively purging the heavy trauma of 1,000 forgotten battles. Take a deep breath and allow the magnificent healing energy to wash over you completely. You are officially a true master of your own reality. The foolish people who constantly doubted your path are going to witness a miraculous elevation that defies all logical explanation. They will watch you effortlessly attract the exact things they have been struggling to acquire for decades. Their jealous whispers will be completely silenced by the undeniable magnitude of your divine favor. This is the exact glorious moment the massive spiritual shift occurs. The heavy generational curse that plagued your family bloodline officially ends with you tonight. You are the sacred break in the cycle that all your future descendants will endlessly thank you for. The magnificent doors of infinite provision are swinging wide open to welcome you safely into your brand new kingdom. But to actually step through those massive golden doors, you must be prepared. Your physical frequency must perfectly match your magnificent divine destiny. The lingering static inside your exhausted brain must be completely and permanently silenced. You cannot fully access the new timeline if your nervous system is still vibrating at the frequency of chronic survival. Your biological receiver must be fully repaired. And this brings us directly to the ultimate revelation. It brings us back to the hidden scientific discovery I asked you to hold in your mind at the very beginning of this message. The incredibly powerful tool that the brilliant neuroscientists built in secret. It is the exact physical mechanism designed to restore your original childhood genius frequency without requiring any difficult effort. The elite forces that profit off your daily exhaustion are actively trying to keep this a hidden secret. They are absolutely terrified of what happens when a chosen one finally wakes up and reclaims their stolen brainwave. Because when your pure gamma frequency is fully restored, you become entirely immune to their dark matrix. You become a highly magnetized beacon for endless divine wealth. Prepare your spirit right now. The final piece of the beautiful divine puzzle is finally here. The sinister mechanism that blocked your desperate prayers for years is officially being overridden tonight. I promised I would tell you exactly what the researchers called their incredible discovery, and the time has finally come to hand you the ultimate physical key to your absolute spiritual freedom. The pitch-black darkness has permanently retreated behind you today. The glorious dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays directly onto your spiritual crown. Can you physically feel that intense shift in your spirit right now? That is the exact frequency of absolute and total victory. You are boldly stepping into the exact golden timeline you were born to officially rule. You have walked through the painful valley of shadows for so long, but you did not let the darkness extinguish your beautiful inner light. Every heavy closed door is being completely blown off its old rusty hinges. The intense waiting season is officially over. The dry desert you bravely walked through has suddenly burst into a magnificent oasis of pure divine favor. You have successfully passed the ultimate spiritual test. And now, the universe is ready to hand you the physical key to permanently maintain this glorious new altitude. Remember the profound question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this message. What if the massive gap is not a character flaw at all? Here is the final, triumphant answer. A specific biological brainwave called the gamma wave was running freely inside you as a beautiful child. It gave you that effortless and pure genius. Top researchers at Princeton University extensively studied it in absolute secret. The famous Einstein Center in Berlin officially confirmed this powerful phenomenon, and Columbia University found that when this exact brainwave is properly restored, it literally radiates outward to bless the people you love. A dedicated team of neuroscientists led by Dr. Robert Lake spent years compressing the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation. They perfectly condensed 1 full hour of intense therapy into exactly 7 minutes. Before I tell you what they miraculously built, let me tell you about 2 everyday chosen ones who actively used it. A woman from California had hopelessly tried absolutely everything. She did intense meditation and daily manifesting, but nothing broke the heavy fog. After 2 weeks of just listening, she said something finally cleared. Her failing marriage magically shifted, and her tired mind sharpened very quickly. She beautifully described her entire life as enchanted for the very first time. A man from Texas started using it to improve his struggling online business. 2 months later, his wife proudly joked that his intelligence had jumped 20 points. The hardest daily problems started solving themselves while he slept peacefully. He confidently said it felt like his brain was finally running on what it was always supposed to run on. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his brilliant scientific team built. They call it the Genius Song. It is definitely not a generic meditation app. It is a powerful 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology. It compresses intense clinical protocol into something you do easily at home with headphones and closed eyes. You do not need to constantly monitor your thoughts or force yourself to stay positive all day. You simply let the pure frequency do exactly what your brain was originally designed to receive. The Genius Song is absolutely not for everyone. It is specifically for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the rare soul who truly understands that their blessing is blocked by a suppressed frequency. If your deep spirit confirms this is meant for you today, the path is waiting. Traditional biofeedback sessions to restore this holy state cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. An advanced in-home machine runs thousands of dollars, but what the Genius Song delivers in 7 short minutes is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. 4 incredibly powerful bonuses come directly with it today to completely support your massive spiritual upgrade. You receive a special audio track designed for your children to boost their focus. You get the original prosperity text that the secret was secretly built upon. You also receive a beautiful, guided visualization and a daily habits guide. Here is the deeper and more urgent truth about waiting. The divine provision God perfectly arranged for you does not arrive as something brand new. It simply arrives as a recognition. Something beautifully placed in your path becomes visible only when your gamma receiver is fully restored. The chosen one who restores the receiver today finally sees what was always there. The blessing is not new at all. Do not foolishly look for this on YouTube or Spotify. The fake tracks circulating on those loud platforms have absolutely no brain entrainment technology encoded in them. They are dangerous counterfeits designed to drastically lower your vibration. The loving universe requires absolutely no physical risk from you. If you do not feel the glorious shift, every single penny is quickly returned. That is a pure, energetic exchange governed by trust. The secure and authentic link is waiting in the description and in the pinned comment below. The physical tool itself is never the final destination. The physical tool merely restores your spiritual receiver, so the true destination can be easily recognized when it finally arrives. God definitely does not require you to purchase anything to be unconditionally loved or chosen. What was just described is simply one valid way the receiver is quickly and efficiently restored today. Whether that specific path is for you or not, the eternal truth of this powerful message belongs to you entirely. Your spirit is whole and completely safe. You are perfectly equipped to handle the magnificent glory that is rapidly approaching. Do not let the fading echoes of your past make you doubt the solid reality of your incredibly bright future. Now let us go even deeper into what is waiting for you on the other side of this breakthrough. The heavy spiritual warfare is officially over today. You can finally lay your heavy armor down on the ground. You survived the brutal storms that were specifically designed to destroy you, and you beautifully emerged from the dark ashes with a brilliant light that simply cannot be ignored. Your new, quiet authority speaks volumes before you even open your mouth. You are untouchable. The toxic people from your painful past are watching you from a very great distance. They see the glorious favor that beautifully surrounds your every single step today. They wonder how you managed to rise so incredibly high after they tried so hard to bury you deep, because they do not realize you were a divine seed all along. You simply used their toxic dirt to grow a magnificent kingdom. You do not even feel the slightest need to explain your complex journey to them anymore. Your absolute silence is the most powerful answer you could ever possibly give, while the massive universe is seamlessly arranging beautiful synchronicities to confirm you are exactly where you need to be. You are currently operating on a magnificent frequency of pure divine peace. Every heavy closed door from your past makes perfect logical sense right now. You can clearly see the intricate master plan that heaven was carefully weaving behind the chaotic scenes. The universe had to separate you from the noisy crowd so you could deeply learn the true sound of your own voice. And your beautiful isolation was actually your greatest spiritual asset all along. The generational wealth and the beautiful kingdom connection are safely entering your physical reality right now. You are a highly magnetized beacon, effortlessly attracting everything that is rightfully yours, so you never have to chase anything with desperate anxiety ever again. The heavy waiting season is permanently closed. Step boldly into the glorious light of your new timeline today. You have successfully become the exact person you needed when you were a broken child. You magically healed the deep wounds that your ancestors bled from for countless generations. The heavy chains of poverty and endless struggle are completely shattered on the floor behind you, and you are confidently walking into a season of effortless abundance where everything you touch turns to pure gold. For the chosen one, whose deep spirit powerfully confirmed what was described earlier, the path is still completely open. The frequency tool remains available in the description and the pinned comment for those who are truly ready, but that is the absolute last time it will be mentioned here today. What follows right now belongs entirely to your holy sealing and your final blessing. Take a deep, slow breath and let the profound truth completely settle into your tired soul. You are no longer the exhausted empath who begged for tiny scraps of fake love. You are a powerful master of reality who dictates the exact energy allowed in your sacred space, and the divine creator is placing a heavy crown of eternal favor directly upon your head right now. Wear this magnificent crown with absolute pride and extremely deep gratitude. But you must also deeply understand the heavy responsibility that comes with your rising frequency, because a true spiritual blessing is absolutely never meant to be selfishly hoarded in the dark. The massive light you now carry is desperately needed in a cold world filled with suffocating darkness. There is a deeply broken soul out there, bleeding in the cold dark of despair right now. They are crying exactly like you cried during your long, lonely nights of testing, and they are desperately praying for a bright, guiding light to help them safely find their way back home. Heaven wants to use your newly awakened presence as a powerful bridge for their ultimate salvation. If this fiery message has beautifully reignited the powerful faith inside your tired chest, do not keep this great blessing to yourself. Your simple obedience right now can literally change the entire trajectory of another person. When you freely share the divine light, you confidently prove to the universe that your beautiful hands are permanently open to safely receive much more. Share this video right now with someone who desperately needs to hear this profound truth today, because sowing the powerful seed of hope is multiplying the massive blessing for yourself tomorrow. Send this exact message to the specific person the Holy Spirit places on your pure heart right now. Do not hesitate when your strong intuition actively guides you to move. The universe is warmly smiling at your beautiful response in this exact magnificent second. As you freely share this holy truth, you are permanently sealing the glorious reality we just unlocked together, completely building an unbreakable heavy energy shield around your timeline. The dark enemy can never cross this sacred boundary again. You have officially reclaimed your lost power. Step confidently forward into your massive destiny, with your head held incredibly high. You have bravely survived the absolute worst, and now you are about to inherit the absolute best. So keep your beautiful heart pure and your powerful frequency forever protected. You are deeply loved, and you are incredibly protected by the highest divine forces forever. Welcome to your beautiful new home.